Hi there, I'm Mike Watchmaker, National Handicapper for Daily Racing Form. No conventional weekend warrior story this week. Instead, I wrote a column that appears in Saturday's paper and online specific to the Belmont Stakes and my feelings about the Belmont Stakes. And look, Justify is clearly the best three-year-old we've seen up to this point so far this year. His victory in the Kentucky Derby was a tremendous performance. He disputed a scorching early pace and still bounded away from that field. But he turned in a less impressive performance in the Preakness. In fact, it was his most uninspiring performance in his five-race career. Reason why it was uninspiring is because the pace he disputed in the Preakness was not remarkable. When you compare it to the other routes, most of the other routes, except for the off-the-turf Dixie Stakes, which had no pace, but if you compare it to the other routes on the Preakness undercard, the pace was entirely unremarkable, and that should have been more favorable for Justified to actually run better than he did in the Kentucky Derby, and instead he fell off 6 very important buyer points, going from a 103 in the Derby to a 97 in the Preakness. And I just feel that at this point in time, the cumulative effects of the Triple Crown might be taking a toll on Justify. Now, he earned rave reviews. This is being filmed on Thursday. He earned rave reviews for his gallop over the racetrack this morning. Everybody says he looks great, but I really don't think that you can tell what kind of a toll these races take out of a horse until they actually get into race conditions, and that's what's going to happen on Saturday. The most overriding point here, though, is that if you've got these sort of questions about a horse who's going to be 4 to 5 or even money, in any other race you're supposed to bet against this horse and pick against this horse, and I'm considering the Belmont just like any other race. There might be tremendous history on the line, but still, it's a horse race. And at the price that Justified figures to be, I think he's a horse that you're supposed to pick and bet against. He could win. I wouldn't be surprised if he won, but I preferred, from a betting standpoint, to go with HOFburg. I've been a fan of HOFburg from very early on as well, too. I mean, I thought his performance breaking his maiden at Gulfstream in his first start this year was tremendous. I mean, he overcame the sort of wide trip at Gulfstream going a mile and a 16th that you never see horses overcome. I was so impressed with that performance, I made him my pick in the Weekend Warrior in the Florida Derby, and he ran perfectly fine, finishing second. And then he ran in the Kentucky Derby, and he had a nightmare trip in that race. He was crying to run on the far turn. He was blocked virtually the length of the far turn, had a check nearing the stretch. He finished very nicely to finish 7th, and he galloped up very strongly past the wire. I just think HOFburg is the now horse. He's fresh. He didn't run in the Preakness Stakes. And I've always been taken by the fact that his Hall of Fame trainer, Belmont, who is very conservative in his approach, ran this horse off a maiden victory in a race like the Florida Derby and ran a horse still eligible to a non-winners available and allowance race of all races, the Kentucky Derby. Obviously, Mott thinks the world of this horse. I think the world of Belmont. I'm taking HOFburg to upset Justify in the Belmont. Thanks for watching.